different, different stuff than maybe they would normally do themselves. But
Yeah. Are they releasing any of that as vinyl, or do you know?
I believe so.
Really?
Yeah. I believe it's coming out as vinyl.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
I hope there's more of a vinyl revival as time goes.
Yeah, there seems to be, at the moment at least.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are doing the vinyl and then like a digital download as opposed to doing CDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's some people in the Denton area that press records. That's kind of exaggerated.
Why did you say that? Yeah, it's exaggerated. It's a little darker piece.
Is that a local person?
Well, it's sort of. It was kind of based off of me, but not me. So it's a character. So.
It's you without a beard and mustache?
Well, it's a woman, but it's not actually me. But in a lot of stuff, like when you're doing any painting, people can say it's a self-portrait because you're pulling from yourself. But that one, I think I was trying to put more of myself into this character.
Yeah.
Whoever she may be, it's fictional.
I like that. This is a good one too. They all are good.
This one is like a ballerina.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to just.
How long does it take you to do these usually?
So that's some of them take. I'll work on them and go back to working on them over the course of a couple months.
Months, yeah.
But some of them I'll do in like one sitting.
Yeah.
And I'll just stay and just keep working through it.
Mm-hmm. You just feel go ahead and keep working on it.
Right. Like a couple of these ones, I think I did in the same day. Like
really?
That one I probably spent 7 hours on just
this. Yeah.
Yeah, just intensely working on it. Just.
You have to wait for layers to dry and things like that.
You do, but also there's different ways of going about the different styles. Like a lot of these, I do work really thin, so that helps out with the drying time.
Yeah.
And that way I can build layers up faster.
That's good. Is she blowing out smoke, or she's not?
It's like a snowstorm.
Snowstorm, yeah.
That's the kind of concept behind it. This was supposed to be. This was like 4 foot tall. It was supposed to be like a close-up of a larger painting.
Yeah.
That I never really ever did, but it's supposed to be a larger scene, and there's a lot of like snow blowing through. And while I was like coming up with that idea, I really focused on this one person in that scene, and I just wanted to do that. I never got around to doing the larger scene. I didn't at that point. After doing it, I didn't think it was necessary. It's part of the process. Like you start with an idea, kind of cut it down, and kind of find out what works best.
Yeah. Now this is more abstract.
So this, it's a little. It's upside down. So this way, on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, the idea behind it was abstract idea from how like the water on a windshield looks.
Yeah.
And kind of vaguely with the two images in there, the faces are like headlights. So I mean, they kind of see them. I don't know, a little better. This face is looking up. It's probably hard to tell with the.
I can see the face on this side.
So that would be like the lips and the nostrils.
Oh, okay.
And the eyes and then the chin.
Yeah. It
is abstracted a little. It's obvious. Stripping down the layers, like kind of just destructive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hidden imagery in there.
Yeah.
So if you take a little closer look, there's also like kind of hidden face within there. It has a kind of a clown smile.
I like things like that.
Makes you work around the image.
Yeah. And more things just kind of appear as you go. You think like this could be a face right here or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Piece things together and leave things up for the viewer to see, like some things you do and like intentionally do, and in that process of like destroying it and then working on top of the destruction, things get lost. Some things like still remain.
Yeah. And different people see different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people, like see different things, and it's theirs.
You've had people that see something that you didn't see.
Yes, not necessarily. It's like, okay, I can see where you got that from, and
yeah.
But it's once you finish something, it's not really yours anymore. It's just out there.
Yeah.
So that's actually why I kind of stopped signing my pieces, at least for the time being.
Really?
Yeah.
That has a dreamy look to it to me.
Yeah, that's also another one of the ones I was destroying as I was working on it.
Oh, really?
So it starts peeling away, and it's supposed to be like the idea that I was working with in creating some of those were like failed memories and how we don't necessarily remember everything correctly.
Yeah.
And we go back and we change things fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always trying to piece it back together, and it's kind of like this dark mystery.
I can relate to that.
So we hold on to these memories as like that's our life, but at the same time we can't even trust our own memories a lot of times.
That's for sure.
So it's really trying to understand life.
And especially as people get older, and
that's true.
You have more and more memories and things you get mixed up, and
you combine things because it's easier. That's another part of like how we process everything and to make it easier on ourselves.
Yeah.
We make labels for things and we use words. And the type of language that you use affects how you think, and like in your own head, your vocabulary will change how you think. So if you start, the good part about having like more, like a larger vocabulary is the reason why there's more words is because there's a similar idea, so you get a better idea of what like the differences are.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back to what I was talking about with the fork, you don't remember exactly what the fork is, you just know it's a fork. But if you're paying attention to more details, then you are enhancing your memory.
You see how the light is like a prism or something, and where there's a curve or whatever. And
right. If you're paying more attention to your surroundings, you're going to pick up on more things.
Mm-hmm.
Like any sort of art, I think if you work at it, you gain something new from it. You start hearing things differently when you start getting to music.
Yeah.
You're better able to differentiate between different instruments. You can dissect a song, put it back together, which a lot of times it could hurt how you listen to music because you're always breaking it apart.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to kind of try to forget that, just to hear it as a whole, and then go back and dissect it.
Yeah.
Same thing with when you're an artist, like a painter. You do the same things. Like, okay, how do they achieve that type of layering? Like, that is really cool. I want to know how to do that. And you're paying more attention to that than necessarily the piece.
Yeah.
So you got to step outside of. Sometimes you got to step outside of what you already know to actually see something clearly, and break it apart again. It's a lot of reverse engineering that happens, and
yeah.
when you take photography, you start noticing where the light's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You start picking up that in your just daily life.
Oh yeah.
So, also it's kind of funny. Like another example would be when I was younger, I used to skateboard a lot.
Really?
So now when I like drive by, I'll see a stair set, and I'll be like, oh, that's a 14 stair, that's a 7 stair, just from the look of it. And it's like, how do you know? You just didn't count them. It's like I just kind of got ingrained in my head at that age, and it just sticks with you.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
The more like different skills you learn, you start noticing things more.
That's for sure, yeah. Well, Daniel, I really enjoyed talking with you, and we're about to go over on time.
Okay.
But
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for
great.
coming down to share your art and talk about your knowledge and so on. And I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for watching. My guest today is a fascinating painter who's made quite a name for herself, painting windows all over Denton, Texas, and I'm honored to have Erica Tolbert. Erica, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're a busy artist.
I'm very busy this time of year, extremely.
You do a lot of like Halloween and Thanksgiving paintings.
I do, around Day of the Dead, Christmas, sometimes year-round, but really a lot of my business on the windows is the back-to-back holidays here at the end of the year.
Yeah. What kind of things do you do after the first of the year?
I do a lot of canvas work in my studio, commissions, wall murals, things like that throughout the rest of the year. But this time of year, my time is basically completely taken out getting Denton ready for the holidays.
Windows, yeah. And the Day of the Dead has become quite a fun event for everybody.
It has. And I was really surprised this year that the amount of decoration and the amount of effort that went into it from the different businesses, it seems so much more this year that they were ready. They were ready to decorate coffins and windows and everything really early this year.
A lot of participants in the race.
A lot of participants this year, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people painted their own cars, I guess, or coffins. Or
I'm not really sure. I know I've done some of them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the businesses do their own, kind of get everybody involved.
Yeah, fun project for everybody. Yeah. You've been an artist for quite a while. As a kid, you had artistic talents. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Forever. I always, no matter what I was doing, had to decorate or paint or make something.
Mixing a lot of media.
Yes. No, it didn't matter what I was doing. I was making something, writing something, drawing, painting on something all the time.
And I read on your website you like music as well?
Yes, I was a pianist for many years.
Oh, really?
Many years, yes.
That's great. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Do you have time to still play these days?
A little bit on and off. I'm really, I guess, obsessive about it when I sit down to play. So if I don't really remember something, I'm like, I need to play that correctly. So I'll sit there for a long time. So usually I don't get to play too often.
But you play classical pieces?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish I had that skill. It seems like it would be a lot of fun.
It is, and pretty much everyone in our family is musically inclined.
Really?
They all play something, so it's quite noisy at our house a lot of the time.
You grew up in Oklahoma?
Yes, Muskogee, Oklahoma. It's right south of Tulsa.
Yeah. You've done some artwork for a casino up there?
I did some vector artwork of logos. My family owns a paper company up there, so a lot of their clients that wanted their logo on things, I took them and vectorized them so they could print them on different things. And
what does that word mean?
well, if they're you have your graphics that are pixel based, and so if you blow it up large to put it on something, it just doesn't translate very well. But if you have a vector image, it's with lines and curves, so it can be expanded or reduced without losing anything.
Yeah, that's in the digital world.
Yeah, I spent many years as well working as a graphic designer for the creative group, Dallas Morning News.
Really?
Harcourt School Publishers.
That's a lot of good experience.
Yeah, yes. So pretty much any media, if I'm not painting, on the computer was where I was working.
And you do residential as well as commercial projects.
Yes.
A lot of various things I was noticing.
I couldn't make up my mind. Kind of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Not really master of any, but...
That's how creative people are, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes that goes really well, and others it's not a good idea at all. It turns into a disaster, but...
You have quite a presence on the square, Jupiter House. You've redone their windows for several years.
Yes, I love them. Joey and Amy are just fantastic people, and they were some of the first people I met when I moved to Denton.
Really?
That really gave me a shot to... They hadn't seen any of my work here in town because all of my work had been in Oklahoma, and Amy was like, yeah, come on, come paint our windows, and, you know, it kind of really opened me up to everybody. And
which year was that?
Oh my goodness, that's been, I guess, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
I had lived in Denton for a long time previously.
Really?
But then I had moved back to Oklahoma for a while. And when I came back, I decided to kind of start doing some artwork down here. And yeah, they really helped me out, introducing me. They'd be like, oh, let me call somebody. I know somebody. And they were just really great. And
you've done Harvest House?
Yes, I've done Harvest House. Starting this year, I did Day of the Dead and Christmas for Harvest House, as well as Hoochies. We're always doing something
really
fun down there. Mellow Mushroom, trying to get everybody going. Recycled. East Side, always something funny. We kind of incorporate all the workers at East Side. Funny little pictures going on.
Oh,
they're
really?
on the windows. Yeah, they like to keep it really lighthearted and fun.
And on your Facebook page, I noticed the hidden themes of recycled books.
Yeah. The longer the season goes on and I'm out there, the more my sense of humor starts kind of seeping out.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah, into things. And recycle just kind of lets me go at it and put things in there. So
it's various things that relate to recycled?
Yeah, movie references, book references, little things like Santa and his reindeer down there, having fun with, they all have T-shirts on from the businesses around there. There's one for East Side, one for Oak Street, one for Bearded Monk that they're wearing and having a good time. And
really?
Mrs. Claus is at the other end alone with all of her cats reading a self-help book. So, I kind of have a little fun with it.
And you've done that for several years, recycled windows?
Yes.
Who does the painting on those walls there?
Now, I believe the mural that's done on the side of Recycled was done by Denton High School.
Really?
Mr. Rosen is the art teacher there who I know was involved in that because my daughter also has him as her professor.
Really?
Yeah, loves him, thinks he's a great guy, super nice, and I think he had some students that came up and worked on that mural.
Yeah. And on your Facebook page, there's somebody made a video of you painting Wine Square and then fast forward.
Yes.
As you transform the window from a blank window to the finished product. How long did it take you to paint that?
I think Wine Square is about 30 to 40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, it's all the nice filigree white snow and stuff. So usually those don't take a very long time because we don't have to go back and do lining and stuff. But they're a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. And the name of your website is
Golandrina.
Golandrina.com?
Yes.
But you use Facebook a lot too, and people...
I do. Facebook and Instagram really kind of helps me connect. It seems like a lot of the businesses in Denton, a lot of the people really connect through Instagram.
Really?
And sharing, so I get to kind of share that with a lot of the business owners that I know. They'll post things and we'll post things back. So there's a really good community that goes on there between, the local Denton businesses and such.
And you're fairly easy to get in touch with. If people want you to do some kind of art, they can find you on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I get messages from Facebook, Instagram, phone calls, emails. Some of my customers just see me painting and yell at me from across the square and be like, hey.
And you sometimes just have your phone number at the bottom of your paintings. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good. You do so many different projects. I know it just brightens up a business's environment once the windows are painted.
It does, and I think especially with Christmas, when I started doing this in Muskogee, It was kind of because I was starting out. I had done window murals for some of the places I worked with, and other businesses were like, "Oh, I'd really like to do that," you know, because it is a form of advertising. It draws customers in. It helps them get business around the holidays. So I was doing the larger businesses, but Muskogee has a really quaint downtown area and a lot of smaller businesses, but there's not a lot of money. You know, it's a very small town, very rural. So it became kind of a mission that I was like, well, I'm not going to charge them very much because I want everyone to participate. Because it really seems to give this sense of community when everyone has art up on the windows and everyone together. And I think especially in Denton, because there's already that sense of community and everyone really loves the arts, that when you get a lot of businesses together doing it, it almost becomes like something of its own that the businesses in Denton are known for. Because
creates a unity.
Myself and some of the other window painters, and I know Warren Lunt, who's fantastic. We've talked about we just need to get everybody together because it really creates this great thing at the holidays that you're just walking through all this art.
Do you do any paintings at the mall?
I have not. I did email them this year.
Really?
I was like, hey, don't do so art, but I did not hear back from them. So if they're out there, they should email me.
This is a collection of some of the art that you have around town. This one is entitled what?
Oh, that's Jupiter House's coffin. From not this year, but last year we did a space theme, and Amy drove the coffin, little alien, looked adorable. So.
And that is Audacity's door.
Audacity we did this year.
Berry Christmas.
Berry Christmas, yes.
The colors look really good, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, they have that great bright green building, so the reds of the snowman help bring it out.
Yeah. This one is...
That is Authentic Life Yoga. That one was so much fun to do, much fun, because I really like to incorporate what the businesses do if I can, because it makes it personal, very unique to them. Yes, so we have our yoga doing reindeers and Santas, and it says Om for the holidays, and a lot of the lotus blooms and stuff all kind of incorporated into the paintings. So it kind of gives it that little extra if you're really looking at it like, oh, look.
I'm sure. You know. What are these?
Let's see, this one was Bishop Arts Winery and down in the Bishop Arts District of Oak Cliff. We did some nice border for them, and that was year before last. I would have loved to have gone down and done some more businesses, but it got so busy this year so quickly, and the weather has not cooperated. So unfortunately, I didn't get to go do many of their businesses this year. But
you have done work in Dallas?
Yes, I have done work throughout the Metroplex. When time allows, I usually kind of head out that way after Denton is taken care of, because that's really where I like to work.
Focus on Denton.
Yeah, that's my town, so I like to, dress Denton up first. But when time permits, I do some work outside of Denton.
What is this one?
That is Caring for Women. Dr. Valenti is a very fantastic guy, great sense of humor. And so he has me paint their windows every year, kind of spruce that up for everybody.
People need to be relaxed when they go see the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
How about these?
Let's see. This year is the Devonte Salon. We have Santa getting a haircut. Nice, fun. Some decorations that are hanging of Christmas bulbs and hair dryers and such. Then we have some of our Day of the Dead. We have East Side with the skeletons and the Katrinas for Day of the Dead. And as well, we painted their coffin, which says Lankenstein, because yet again, a play on their employees. They call him Lanky.
Really?
So yeah, Patrick has a really good sense of humor at East Side, and he's like, oh, put him in the window. And so that usually ends up being a surprise for a lot of the employees who are like, oh, I'm on the window.
They really have a wide selection there.
They do. They do. A great place, and everyone that works there is so much fun and so nice. John is great. Poor Craig is usually the butt of some window jokes up there.
Really?
As right now, we have a reindeer of Craig with his mustache trying to flirt with the other reindeer that aren't having it. So
yeah,
really good sports about a lot of the things they get on their window that they're incorporated into.
And are they one of the sponsors of Day of the Dead?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe they are
They're
sponsors.
very active
They're
in that.
very, very active.
Yeah,
yes.
they allow, that's like the central location of it, yeah. Yeah. And some of these others that you brought?
Let's see, yeah, we have our East Side, I also do Thanksgiving windows for them.
Yeah.
We have the Denton Art Council right here, right now. We have The Love of Art Warms the Heart, and I've started this year, I got in touch with them that I will donate the windows to them free of charge, you know, kind of help support Denton Arts.
Oh, really? That's
and
good.
I try to get over there to do as much as I can on the windows, you know, while weather and time permit.
They're having some kind of invitation for art right now?
They are. They're having a call for artists. They're doing a show which will be 200 works of art that are going to be hung floor to ceiling. And there will be an opening, and I'm not really sure on the date. I want to say it's early February that the opening begins, or March. I may be wrong. I know the deadline for the call of artists is December 31st. And people can submit up to 3 works of art, any 2D media, and those will remain in the center hanging for about a month, as well as be online.
That's
for
great
purchase.
exposure. Great exposure, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And 50% of the proceeds will go towards the Art Council and Denton Arts.
Really? That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's really great. I think it'll give a lot of artists chance to be seen, because there's a lot of events that go on there where the paintings will be on exhibit and for view.
That's good. They're becoming more and more active in the community, it seems like.
I haven't had a lot of experience. I just got involved with the Art Council this year, and I met Tracy Booth, who is fantastic. She's really great. She's been a big help with me. She'll always email and be like, "Oh yes, lovely windows," and a lot of information. She's super personable, and I really hope to do a lot with them in the future, because they're really great people.
They have the 35 Denton and Thin Line bands perform in that building too, I think.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so, yes.
And some of these on this row?
It's all kind of mixed in. Here. We have this painting at Hoochie's was up for a long time. It wasn't really seasonal, kind of incorporating the Louisiana Cajun food and music, because they're really, really big on promoting jazz and kind of that Louisiana feel. So we had done this mural on their windows. It just recently has been taken down because it had been up for quite a while, and it was kind of showing its age. It's on that the side of the building that gets a lot of sun exposure. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. The paint kind of dries out eventually.
Yeah, it kind of fades a little bit. So that has come down, but it was up for quite a while.
Do you still use the same kinds of paints that you started off using a few years ago, or have you modified?
Every once in a while, I will kind of branch out and see what I like. I try to stick to acrylic because it's easy to take off for my businesses.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You just soak in water and then a razor, and it comes right off. So.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something more permanent that's going to stay, then I will.
I see. Yeah.
Go up. But as far as holidays and stuff, it doesn't have to last, more than a couple months, and off it goes. Although I have had at Seniors in Motion, they've left some of the wording up for 2 or 3 years,
really?
where it stayed there. Stayed there. Yeah.
That's good that it lasts that long. There's so many organizations in Denton that bond the community, I guess.
Yeah, Denton really is, and I guess that's why I keep moving back to Denton. I'm not big on the heat or anything like that, and I really need to live somewhere where it's colder, but I just love Denton. And so keep moving back here. The people are so friendly compared to a lot of the places I've lived. It's especially like painting these windows has really introduced me to the business owners and a lot of the people that work in these places. And instead of just being like, oh, you know, come do my windows, I'm very, I guess, just cordial, and everyone gets to know you very well. They're very friendly. They become, you know, oh, hey, and this is going on. And so everyone's so personable and really involved, and everyone in the businesses seems to support each other, and everyone knows everyone and gets together, and it really is just a sense of community that I really haven't seen in a lot of the places I've lived, and especially around the arts,
Just seems like Denton attracts people that like art and music.
Which is fantastic.
Really, really. Some of these other ones, what are these?
Let's see, we have a lot of our previous windows from Mellow Mushroom. Always good customers that have, you know, fun stuff up. This year at Day of the Dead, we we always incorporate their guys, their main mushroom guys, and had them doing the spooky, scary skeletons dance down at one end. And
what is that?
It's a cartoon. It kind of turned into a meme there for a long time. It was a really old cartoon from the, I believe, 1930s or 40s.
Really?
Mm-hmm. With this little spooky, scary skeleton song, and they do the little dance, and yeah, it's circulating on the internet. Like I said, a lot of things that are just funny jokes to me that I get end up on windows, and
that's good though.
So not everyone will get them, but I will laugh myself silly doing them.
It's just not straight depictions of a snowman and Santa Claus. There's
there's always something in there that
is
something that amuses me is probably in there.
I think that's what makes art great, really.
It is, and it's always fun to get to walk through and see the paintings and be like, oh, haha, I know what that is. And like I said, Recycled has their reindeer are representing the Mean Girls from the movie Mean Girls doing their little dance.
Oh,
and,
really?
The book Mrs. Claus is reading is Women Who Love Men Who Are Emotional Amoebas, which is a book that was referenced in the movie Hackers years ago.
Gosh.
A lot of the albums that are hanging up, you have traditional like Christmas albums and Dolly and Bob Wills, and then you have Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, and just some random stuff. In the books is Cujo along with the Christmas books, and just kind of throw in stuff that I think is cute and funny. And
I think it's great what you do. There's so much tension in the world these days. You know, it's good that there's some fun bonding things that are going on to keep people focused on positive, funny things, lightheartedness.
Yeah, I am always, I can't really be serious for too long. My sense of humor always seems to find its way out somehow.
Good, yeah.
So,
how about these on the bottom row?
Let's see. We have I brought a couple different wall murals that we have. There's some trees. Trees are a big popular item on wall murals. We have some cherry trees and some olive trees.
How big is that one?
That is part of a mural that spans about a 20-foot wall. There are two trees that go on the wall and up onto the ceiling on that mural.
What's the name of that?
It doesn't really have a name. Yeah.
I mean, what does it say right there?
Oh, it says Wall Mural 3.
Oh, okay.
It's just labeled them there. The other tree I think I brought is, a cherry blossom tree that was done in a bathroom to kind of accent some bare walls they had. And
that's this one? What is it titled?
Wall Mural 1.
Oh, okay.
They just have numbers. This one here is probably my favorite because this is actually on my wall at home because I'm always painting on something. And this is a representation of an actual sign that may still be hanging at Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa. Kane's Ballroom, home of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, is extremely, I guess, influential to not only me, but a lot of people that grow up in that area because a lot of your youth is spent in the Canes Ballroom. That's where a lot of the shows happen, a lot of,
school activities.
No. It's all music based.
Really?
And I had done a lot of work with them in my younger days, taking photographs of bands and interviewing bands there, which is kind of how I got my start.
Is that
when
right?
I was in college. My grandparents really loved Bob Wills, and they kind of knew him when they were younger. He would come in with the Playboys to my great-grandmother's grocery and get sandwiches.
Really?
And so the Canes is really kind of, a part of, I don't think just our family, but a lot of families that grew up in that area, in the Tulsa area. Just a really strong background. So that sign kind of reminds me of home.
Did he stay up there, or did he move to Texas eventually?
I do believe he came back to Texas at one point. I'm not really sure what years. I know throughout the 30s is when they were doing the radio show from the Canes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that's actually where my studio gets its name, Golondrina. It's a little Spanish bird. And there's a traditional Spanish song, La Golondrina. And Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys had done an instrumental version, as well as Doc Watson with the Playboys. And I remember when I was little, my grandparents, I was raised by them, and would always teach me how to dance, and my grandmother would teach me different, things. But my grandfather would teach me the waltz, and it would always be to Golondrina, the Bob Wills version. And I just remember that from when I was little, and I love that song. So
how does it go?
Oh, no. You can look that up on YouTube. I'm sure there's a great version.
You were attracted to that song more so than the bird, actually?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, I love the little bird. Is actually part of the logo of my studio. But like I said, everything kind of has these weird little inside things that I get, and to me, Golondrina always makes me think of that. When I was little, I loved the song. That type of music was very influential to me when I was young. Any of the Texas swing, any of the old jazz classics, Nina Simone. Growing up with my grandparents and who were also musicians, there's a very, very wide array of that type of music that was really influential to me when I was young.
You've had a really interesting life. I think you really add a lot to the community. I really appreciate you coming down and letting me do a show with you today.
I appreciate you having me.
And you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great holiday.
Denton Community Television, operated by the Mayborn School of Journalism, the University of North Texas.
Hi, I'm Robert Jeffress, pastor of First Baptist Church in Dallas and Bible teacher on Pathway to Victory. I hope you'll consider supporting Time with Teresa, a wonderful broadcast ministry, by contacting Teresa at the information you see on your screen right now. God bless you, and thank you for doing so.
I was born in Houston, Texas, and I come from a large family. My early childhood is filled with dysfunction and tragedies, but I've taken those dysfunctions and those tragedies and turned them around into something powerful and something positive that can empower others. And it comes out no matter where I'm at, whether I'm working at in the medical field, which I did for 10 years. In fact, I worked at the Health and Wellness Center at UNT for 4 years. And it's just in my DNA, and it just comes out. Prior to beginning the Time with Teresa television program, I established a ministry called Pearls of Shalom Ministries. I've also authored 2 books and have a music video that talk about my personal story of overcoming childhood sexual abuse. The mission of Time with Teresa is to encourage, empower, and entertain our viewers. Many times we will be talking about topics that are profound and some of the hard-hitting issues that are relevant to today. But oftentimes we will have programming that is strictly to entertain the viewers. Based on my many years of working in the ministry in the medical field, it's easy for me to get to the heart of my guest interviews and engage them in the program. Many of my guests share their talents generously, and they share their lives intimately, making for great programming. It's our hope that our viewers walk away from our programming encouraged, empowered, and entertained. I began this program about 7 years ago. We have renamed the show from Pearls of Shalom Ministries to Time with Teresa, and we've branched out from faith-based strictly to family-friendly entertainment along with faith-based. Our target audience is the general population. When we present programming such as ending sex trafficking, how to prevent child abuse, the different relevant issues to our world today about people being addicted to prescription drugs, that is the part of our empowerment mission, to enlighten our viewers and to empower them. There's been several times I've been out in the community shopping and someone will come up to me and say, "Oh, I watch your television show and it's really been a blessing to me." And then I've also heard from nurses at the hospital that they say they walk in and the patients are watching Time with Teresa on the television show. And this makes it all worthwhile for me if we can encourage someone, make their day a little bit easier, or educate them in a matter to help them reach a good decision on a struggle in life. That really makes it all worthwhile. And I get calls from people who are out of state, who are planning to come to my area, that are requesting to be on the Time with Teresa television program. I'm also requested to go film on-location interviews at red carpets and different events. And that has been so exciting. In fact, that's some of the new growth that has happened with Time with Teresa this year. We have done the SAG-AFTRA. I was able to interview many professionals from the Texas entertainment industry. And I always have a lot of fun when I do these on-location interviews. But this is my passion, and this is one of my calls in life. But everything that I do, it's in my DNA to share the Lord with others, because I know what He's done in my life and I know what He can do in others' lives.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller. My show is The Other Side. It runs Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 p.m. on Charter and Verizon. I've been really fortunate to have a lot of great guests come down here, and I appreciate everybody's time, the time they've taken to come down to the show. Joe Pat Hennon came down, and he has worked with Larry Joe Taylor at the Mingus Chili Cook-Off for many years. It's a really nice event, and worked with Guy Clark. His music is played on the radio in Australia, and I would encourage folks to check his music out. At 35 Denton, I met American Werewolf Academy. They're a great band with a great sound, and most of the members have played in other noted bands. The drummer plays with Slobberbone. County Rexford, formed by Rex Emerson. Rex Emerson is a multi-instrumentalist who has formed Boxcar Bandits and County Rexford. I heard them at the Harvest House one time, and it was a great show. They're a great band. They play at the Abbey Underground a lot of times. Brian Wright plays with County Rexford as well. He did a solo show, and he's a great guitar player, great singer, great performer, very talented man, and has added a lot to the music scene here locally. Donna Shea was on our show. He has a 7-track album that's coming out. He calls his guitar Camellia Sage. John McGee is on the art show, The Creatives of North Texas. He's a mathematician who has used mathematics to create art. He does small artwork, murals for walls and things like that. His real name is John McGee, but he goes by Sid Maximus as far as his artwork on the internet, if you'd like to check him out. Christina Smith, a photographer who was completing her work at TWU, was on the show, and she uses photography to deal with family issues that we all have regarding feelings of our past and our ancestors. She now has her first full-time professorship position on the East Coast, and I wish her luck with all of that. Matthew Gray, a noted songwriter, arranger, composer who has lived in this general area for a long time, though he travels all over the United States. He's a guy who really respects his fans. He has a musical coming out and a new album that he'd been working on for several years, and check this guy out. He's an amazing person, very talented. Ed Steele, a very hard-working photographer in the area who's covered many major events, Otopia, 35 Denton, The Thin Line. He has filmed The Day of the Dead, and we have some clips from Brave Combo as well. He's very active in the local scene and has captivating photography. He's a true genius. Musicians use social media to promote themselves and the material that they do, and I hope that people will keep in mind, writers, musicians, that the important thing is to try to work toward harmony in the future for the human race, rather than so much negativity that incites violence between the various groups. And I was struck when I watched the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of the Rascals. Felix Cavaliere made a statement that he hopes that in the future people will use music in a positive way and not for evilness and not for wickedness. I've been working on children's books for a number of years, and I now have 2 of my books on Smashwords, so they are available as ebooks, Alco the Alien and Johnny the Dinosaur. The book Alco the Alien is a book I wrote from a moment I had in life when I was a kid where I felt that a being was speaking to me in the mirror when I was in the bathroom and identified itself as Alco. And I always remembered that, and I thought it was my connection or my guardian angel throughout my life. And I think a lot of people like to have something like that in their life, to feel like they're being looked after by maybe one of their ancestors or something. Johnny the Dinosaur is a book about Johnny, and Johnny could be anybody, any human, and he has feelings that we all have. He loses his parents during a storm and then finds his dad, and he and his dad eventually find his mother. And I think many people can relate to these journeys that we go through in life like that. And in October, I put out another album, my 4th album, Spinning Out of Control. I have a few local musicians on my album, Neely Rose and Jacob Doe, and a few other people. And so I hope people will enjoy some of my songs. I mainly interview musicians. I enjoy hearing musicians and seeing them play, finding out about how they play their instruments, what motivates them, and I appreciate all the people who've come down here. I don't really know too much about photography and art, but I created the art show, The Creatives of North Texas, and have had some really great photographers and artists to come down here. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody who watches the show and supports the show, and I look forward to doing many more in the future.
missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone. Love with heart. How much you miss her. And you deserve. And you deserve. And you deserve. And you did it right from the start. And you did it right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone and missing someone is as normal. Missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone. Love with heart.
NT Daily News on Denton Community Television. We're here for you, because we are you. We live and work in Denton, and we love this community. We find local stories that need to be told, and inform you about national issues that affect our city. From City Hall to the Square, and from UNT to TWU, we've got this city covered, because we care about Denton just as much as you do. Stay tuned for NT Daily News.
up on NT Daily News, a former Fort Worth police officer was arrested and charged with the murder of a black woman in her own home.